The hospital lights were too bright. I kept glancing at the clock, my hands shaking. Olivia squeezed my fingers, her face calm, almost bored. She always looked in control, even now. The nurse smiled at me. "You ready, Dad?" I nodded, trying to sound confident. "Yeah, I'm ready." Olivia rolled her eyes. "You're more nervous than I am." I tried to laugh. "I just want everything to go well." Dr. Patel walked in, checking the monitors. "Everything looks good. Just a few more pushes, Olivia." She nodded, barely glancing at me. "Let's get this over with." I wiped sweat from my forehead. "You're doing great, Liv." She didn't answer. A few minutes later, the room filled with the sound of a baby crying. The nurse lifted our child, wrapped him in a blanket, and handed him to Olivia. I leaned in, heart pounding. "He's beautiful." Olivia looked down, her face unreadable. The nurse smiled. "Congratulations, Mom and Dad." I reached out, wanting to hold my son. The nurse placed him in my arms. I stared at his tiny face, his dark brown skin, so much darker than mine or Olivia's. My mind went blank. I forced a smile. "He's perfect." Olivia looked away, her jaw tight. The nurse didn't seem to notice. "He's healthy. That's what matters." I nodded, but my hands shook. I looked at Olivia. "He doesn't look like us," she snapped. "Babies change. Don't start." I swallowed. "I'm not starting anything. She cut me off. "Don't embarrass me in front of the staff." Dr. Patel checked the baby's vitals. "Everything looks normal. You're both very lucky." I tried to focus on the doctor's words, but my mind kept spinning. I stared at Olivia, searching her face for something. Guilt, fear, anything. She avoided my eyes. The nurse handed Olivia some paperwork. "You can fill this out when you're ready." Olivia nodded, barely glancing at me. "I'll handle it." I sat in the corner, holding my son, feeling like a stranger in my own life. After a while, the nurse came back. "Do you want to try feeding him?" Olivia shook her head. "Not right now." I looked at her. "Liv, are you okay?" She snapped. "I'm tired. Can you just let me rest?" I nodded, feeling stupid. "Yeah, of course." The nurse took the baby to the nursery. Olivia turned away from me, closing her eyes. I sat there staring at the wall, my mind racing. I thought about our wedding, about the promises we made. I thought about all the times Olivia said she wanted a family. I whispered, "Liv, talk to me." She didn't move. "Not now." I stared at her back, feeling the distance between us grow. Later, I walked out to the hallway. Dr. Patel caught up with me. "Congratulations again, he's a strong boy." I forced a smile. "Thank you, doctor." He patted my shoulder. "Get some rest. You'll need it." I nodded, but I knew I wouldn't sleep. That night, I lay on the hospital couch, staring at the ceiling. I replayed every moment, Olivia's coldness, the nurse's smile, the way my son looked nothing like me. I texted Marcus. "He's here. I'm a dad," he replied. "Congrats, man. How's Olivia?" I hesitated. "She's tired. I'll call you later." I put my phone down, my hands still shaking. I heard Olivia whispering on the phone, her voice low. I couldn't make out the words. I wanted to ask, but I was afraid of the answer. I closed my eyes, trying to remember the excitement I felt just hours ago. All I felt now was confusion and fear. The first cracks in my marriage had started, and I didn't know how to fix them. Before everything changed, my life was simple. I worked as a graphic designer at a small agency. I liked my job. I liked the quiet, the colors, the way I could lose myself in a project for hours. Marcus used to call me during lunch breaks. "You still hiding behind that computer, man?" I'd laugh. "It's called working, Marcus," he'd tease. "You need to get out more, meet someone." I'd roll my eyes. "I'm fine. I like my life." But then I met Olivia. She walked into my office one day, all confidence and sharp heels. She was there for a meeting with my boss, but she noticed me sketching at my desk. She smiled. "You're talented. Ever think about working for a real company?" I grinned. "This is a real company." She laughed. "Maybe, but you could do more." We started talking. She was ambitious, always moving, always planning. She made me feel like I mattered. She'd text me late at night. "Still awake?" And I always was. Marcus met her at a bar one night. He pulled me aside. "She's out of your league, man." I shrugged. "She likes me." He grinned. "Then, you're luckier than I thought." My mom never liked Olivia. She'd call on Sundays, her voice sharp. "She's too busy for family. You need someone who puts you first." I'd sigh. "Mom, she works hard. That's not a bad thing." She'd huff. "Don't come crying to me when she forgets your birthday." I'd change the subject. "How's your garden?" She'd always find a way to bring it back to Olivia. "Just be careful. Ambitious women don't make good wives." I stopped telling her about Olivia after a while. But with Olivia, everything felt new. She'd drag me to fancy restaurants, order for both of us, and tell me about her dreams. "I'm going to be CEO one day," she'd say. I'd smile. "I believe you." She'd squeeze my hand. "You're the only one who does." We laughed a lot in those days. We'd stay up late talking about the future. I wanted a simple life, house, kids, maybe a dog. She wanted the world. Sometimes I wondered if I was enough for her. Sometimes I worried she'd get bored, but she'd look at me and say, "You keep me grounded." Marcus would nudge me. "You happy?" I'd nod. "Yeah, I really am." I thought I had everything I wanted. I thought love was enough. Looking back, I realize I was just hoping for a life that was never really mine. Back home, nothing felt right. Olivia was always on her phone, always working late. She barely looked at me. When she did, it was with tired eyes or a forced smile. One night, I tried to hold the baby. "Can I feed him?" She shook her head. "He just ate. Let him sleep." I reached for him anyway. She pulled him closer. "Don't wake him up." I sat back, watching her rock him. "You never let me hold him." She snapped. "You're being dramatic." I bit my tongue. "I just want to help." She rolled her eyes. "Then do the dishes." I washed plates in silence, listening to her whisper to the baby. I caught words like "my boy" and just "us." I felt like a guest in my own house. Rachel, Olivia's assistant, started coming by more often. She'd bring files, coffee, and sometimes dinner. She barely spoke to me, just nodded and handed Olivia her phone. One afternoon, I tried to make small talk. "Busy day, Rachel?" She glanced at Olivia, then at me. Always, Olivia didn't look up. "Rachel, can you check my email?" Rachel nodded, ignoring me. Later, I found Olivia scrolling through photos on her phone. I sat next to her. "Let's take a family picture." She stiffened. "I look terrible." I smiled. "You look great. Come on, just one." She sighed, but let me take a quick selfie. When I looked at the photo, she was barely smiling, eyes on the baby, not me. My mom visited that weekend. She brought a casserole and a stack of baby clothes. She hugged me. "How's my grandson?" I forced a smile. "He's good, growing fast." She looked at Olivia, then at the baby. Her voice dropped. "He doesn't look like you." I shrugged. "Babies change." She squeezed my arm. "Are you sure he's yours?" I pulled away. "Mom, don't start." She whispered, "I'm just saying, you deserve the truth." I changed the subject, but her words stuck in my head. That night, I tried to talk to Olivia. "My mom thinks the baby doesn't look like me." She glared at me. "Your mom needs to mind her own business." I nodded. "Maybe, but I can't stop thinking about it." She stood up, grabbing her phone. "I'm going to bed." I sat alone in the living room, staring at the baby monitor. I watched my son sleep, wondering if he was really mine. Marcus called. How's fatherhood? I hesitated. It's hard. Olivia's different. The baby's different. He tried to reassure me. You're just tired, man. New parents always freak out. I sighed. It's more than that. I feel like I don't belong here. He was quiet. You want me to come over? I shook my head. No, I just needed to talk. He said, You're a good guy. Don't let your head mess with you. I hung up, but the doubt kept growing. Every time Olivia looked at me, I saw something I couldn't name, fear, guilt, or maybe just distance. I started to feel like a stranger in my own home. I couldn't take it anymore. One night after Olivia put the baby to sleep, I waited for her in the kitchen. She walked in, scrolling through her phone, barely looking at me. I cleared my throat. We need to talk. She didn't look up. About what? I tried to keep my voice steady. Is he mine, Olivia? She froze, her fingers tight around her phone. What kind of question is that? I swallowed. You know what I mean. Is the baby mine? She glared at me. How dare you ask me that? I took a shaky breath. I just need to know. He doesn't look like me. He doesn't look like you. She slammed her phone on the counter. So now you're accusing me of what, exactly? I shook my head. I'm not accusing. I'm asking. I need the truth. She crossed her arms. You don't trust me. After everything I've done for this family, you think I'd lie to you? I tried to reach for her hand. She pulled away. Don't touch me, I whispered. Olivia, please. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I just need to know. She grabbed her purse. I'm not doing this. Not tonight. I stepped in front of the door. You can't just walk away. She pushed past me. Watch me. The door slammed. I stood there, shaking. I heard the baby cry in the other room. I went to his crib, picked him up, and held him close. He stared at me with big, dark eyes. I wanted to feel something. Love. Anger, anything. But all I felt was empty. My phone buzzed. Marcus. I answered, my voice barely a whisper. Hey. He sounded worried. You okay? I sat on the floor, the baby in my arms. No, I'm not. He was quiet. What happened? I tried to breathe. I asked Olivia if the baby was mine. She lost it. She left. Marcus sighed. Man, I'm sorry. You want me to come over? I shook my head. No, I don't know what to do. He said, You're not crazy for asking. You deserve answers. I wiped my eyes. I feel like I'm losing my mind. He was gentle. You're not. You're just hurt. I rocked the baby, listening to his soft breathing. What if he's not mine, Marcus? What do I do then? He paused. You figure it out, but you can't keep living like this. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. Yeah. We hung up. I put the baby back in his crib and sat in the dark, waiting for Olivia to come home. She walked in after midnight, heels clicking on the floor. She didn't look at me. I stood up. Where were you? She tossed her purse on the table. Out. I tried to keep my voice calm. With who? She glared at me. Does it matter? I clenched my fists. It does to me. She rolled her eyes. I was with Daniel. We had drinks after work. I felt my stomach drop. Daniel? Since when do you go out with him? She shrugged. He's a friend. I needed to vent. I stared at her. About what? About me? She laughed, but it was cold. About everything. About how exhausting it is to be married to someone who doesn't trust me. I tried again. Olivia, please. Just tell me the truth. She shook her head. I'm done talking. I followed her down the hall. You can't just ignore this. She turned, her eyes hard. I can do whatever I want. I'm not your property. I felt something break inside me. I just want my wife back. She walked into the bedroom and slammed the door. I stood in the hallway, feeling desperate and alone. I pressed my forehead to the wall, trying not to cry. That night, I lay awake, listening to Olivia's angry breathing on the other side of the bed. I realized I didn't know her at all. I realized I might never get the truth. The next week, everything felt off. I went to Olivia's office to drop off lunch, but Rachel barely looked at me. She handed me a stack of papers. "She's in a meeting." I tried to smile. "Is everything okay?" Rachel nodded, but her eyes darted away. "She's just busy." I waited in the lobby, watching people whisper. I caught bits of conversation. My name, Olivia's name, the word baby. I felt like everyone was staring at me. Daniel walked by, usually friendly, but this time he just nodded and kept moving. I called after him. "Hey, Daniel, got a minute?" He shook his head. "Sorry, man. I'm late for something." I watched him disappear down the hall. Ms. Green, the HR manager, stopped by the front desk. "You waiting for Olivia?" I nodded. "Yeah, just wanted to say hi." She gave me a polite smile. "She's had a lot on her plate lately." I tried to sound casual. "Yeah, I know." She lowered her voice. "If you need anything, let me know." I thanked her, but I felt like I was drowning. At home, Olivia was always late. She'd come in, drop her bag, and go straight to the baby's room. I'd try to talk to her, but she'd brush me off. One night, my mom called. "You need to get a paternity test," I sighed. "Mom, Olivia won't even talk about it. She was firm. You have rights. Don't let her bully you." I rubbed my eyes. "It's not that simple." She snapped. "You deserve the truth." I hung up, feeling more lost than ever. Marcus texted me. "Let's grab a drink. You need a break." I replied. "Not tonight." He called anyway. "You can't keep hiding, man." I shook my head. "I just don't want to see anyone." He was quiet. "You're not alone, you know." I tried to believe him, but I felt completely alone. Olivia started working even later. Sometimes she wouldn't come home until after midnight. I'd ask, "Where were you?" She'd shrug. "Work, meetings. You know how it is." I wanted to scream, but I just nodded. "Yeah, I know." Rachel stopped coming by the house. When I called her, she'd say, "I'm just really busy, sorry." Daniel never answered my texts. I started to wonder if I was the problem. Maybe I was too needy, too suspicious. Maybe I pushed Olivia away. One night, I sat in the dark, staring at the baby monitor. I whispered, "Who are you, Olivia? Who did I marry?" I tried to remember the woman I fell in love with, but all I saw was a stranger. I started to doubt everything, myself, my marriage, even my own worth. I wondered if I'd ever really known her at all. It happened on a Thursday night. Olivia left her laptop open on the kitchen table. I wasn't snooping. I just wanted to check the weather. But her email was up, and a message from Daniel caught my eye. The subject line was just a heart emoji. I clicked. "I miss you. Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you." My hands started shaking. I scrolled down. The dates matched up with when she got pregnant. There were dozens of messages, late-night plans, inside jokes, things I never knew about. I heard Olivia's heels in the hallway. I closed the laptop, heart pounding. She walked in, saw my face. "What's wrong?" I tried to keep my voice steady. "Who is Daniel to you, Olivia?" She froze. "He's a friend. Why?" I opened the laptop, showed her the screen. "Don't lie to me. I read everything." She snatched the laptop away. "You had no right." I felt my voice break. "You lied to me. You lied about everything." She glared at me. "It was just one time. It didn't mean anything." I shook my head. "Don't do that. Don't make it small. You had an affair. You got pregnant. You let me believe he was mine. Ma." Crossed her arms, defensive. "I was lonely. You were always working late. I needed someone." I stared at her, numb. "So you chose Daniel? You let me hold him, name him, love him, knowing he wasn't mine?" She looked away. "I didn't know for sure. I thought maybe—" I cut her off. "You thought maybe you could keep lying. You thought I'd never find out." She slammed. The laptop shut. "I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I laughed, but it sounded hollow. Sorry? That's all you have? She started to cry. I never wanted to hurt you. I grabbed a bag from the closet, started throwing clothes in. She followed me down the hall. Where are you going? I zipped the bag. Anywhere but here. She reached for my arm. Don't. Leave. We can fix this. I pulled away. No, Olivia. You broke us. You broke me. She stood in the doorway crying. I walked past her, out into the night. I called Marcus. Can I stay with you? He didn't ask questions. Of course. Come over. I drove in silence, my mind spinning. When I got to Marcus's place, he opened the door, saw my face, and just hugged me. He whispered, I'm sorry, man. I sat on his couch, staring at the wall. She cheated. The baby isn't mine. He shook his head. You didn't deserve this. I nodded, numb. I don't even know who I am anymore. My phone buzzed. My mom. I answered, voice flat. Hey, she didn't waste time. I told you she wasn't right for you. I closed my eyes. Not now, Mom. She sighed. You need to come home, we'll figure it out. I hung up, not ready to talk. Marcus sat next to me. You want to talk about it? I shook my head. Not tonight. He nodded. I'll be here when you're ready. I lay awake on his couch, staring at the ceiling, feeling lost and betrayed by the person I trusted most. I spent the first few days at Marcus's place barely speaking. He gave me space, just left coffee on the table and checked in with a quiet, "You need anything?" One afternoon, my phone buzzed. It was Rachel. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. She sounded nervous. Hey, it's Rachel. I heard what happened. I sighed. Yeah, I guess everyone knows now. She was quiet for a second. I'm sorry. I should have said something sooner. I frowned. Said what? She lowered her voice. Everyone at the office suspected something was going on between Olivia and Daniel. They were always together. People talked. I felt my stomach twist. Why didn't anyone tell me? She hesitated. Olivia's the boss. No one wanted to get on her bad side. She's intimidating. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. Yeah, she always was. Rachel's voice softened. You didn't do anything wrong, you know. I let out a shaky breath. It doesn't feel that way. She said, You were the only one who ever seemed real to her. I hope you find peace. I thanked her and hung up, feeling both better and worse. Marcus came home that night with takeout. He set the food down and sat across from me. You talk to anyone today? I nodded. Rachel called. She said everyone at the office knew about Olivia and Daniel. He shook his head. I'm sorry, man. That's rough. I stared at my food. I keep thinking it's my fault. Like maybe if I'd been better, she wouldn't have cheated. Marcus leaned forward. Don't do that. This isn't on you. Olivia made her choices. I looked at him. She always needed to be in control. I think she liked having secrets. He nodded. Some people are just broken inside. Doesn't mean you are. I tried to smile. I feel broken. He was quiet. You should talk to someone. A real therapist, not just me. I shrugged. I don't know where to start. He handed me a card. My cousin's wife is a therapist. She's good. Just try. I stared at the card for a long time. That night, I called and made an appointment. The first session, I sat on a couch, hands shaking. The therapist's voice was calm. Why are you here today? I swallowed. My wife cheated. The baby isn't mine. I don't know who I am anymore. She nodded. That's a lot of pain to carry. I stared at the floor. I keep replaying everything, wondering what I missed. She said, sometimes people hurt us because of their own fears, not because of anything we did. I wiped my eyes. I want to move on. I just don't know how. She smiled gently. You start by letting yourself feel it. All of it. Then, you decide what you want your life to look like now. I left her office feeling raw but lighter. Back at Marcus's, he asked, "How'd it go?" I shrugged. Hard, but I think I needed it. He clapped me on the shoulder. "You'll get through this. You're stronger than you think." I started running again just to clear my head. I called my mom, told her the truth. She was quiet for a long time, then said, "I'm sorry, son. I wish I could fix it." I whispered, "Me too." I realized I couldn't change Olivia. I couldn't make her sorry or make her love me the way I wanted. But I could choose how I moved forward. I started making plans for myself, not for anyone else. I went back to work, started drawing again, tried to find pieces of myself I'd lost. One night, Marcus and I sat on the balcony, watching the city lights. He said, "You're different now, in a good way." I nodded. "I think I'm finally ready to let go." He smiled. "About time." I looked out at the world, feeling hope for the first time in a long time. I started putting myself back together, one piece at a time. I went back to work, kept my head down, and focused on my projects. My boss called me in. "Glad to have you back, Alex. You look better." I nodded. "Thanks. I'm trying." He smiled. "You're doing good work. Keep it up." I started, running every morning just to feel my heart beat for something other than pain. Marcus joined me sometimes. He'd joke, "You're getting faster, man. Trying to outrun your past?" I laughed. "Maybe, or maybe I'm just tired of standing." "Still," he grinned. "Either way, I'm proud of you." At work, I met Jenna, the new designer. She was friendly, always asking questions, always smiling. One afternoon, she stopped by my desk. "You want to grab coffee after work?" I hesitated. "Sure. Why not?" We sat in a quiet cafe talking about art, music, and life. She listened without judgment. She didn't know my story, and I liked that. Jenna asked, "You always this quiet?" I smiled. "Not always, just lately." She nodded. "Well, you seem like someone who's been through a lot." I shrugged. "You could say that." She grinned. "You'll get your spark back, I can tell." I started reconnecting with old friends. Marcus organized a game night. "You need to laugh more," he said. I rolled my eyes. "You just want to beat me at cards," he laughed. "That too." I found myself smiling more, feeling lighter. I realized I didn't need Olivia's approval. I didn't need her to say sorry. I just needed to move forward. Rumors about Olivia started spreading at her office. Rachel texted me. "She's not handling it well. Daniel left the company." I replied, "I hope she figures herself out." Olivia called a few times. I let it go to voicemail. She texted, "Can we talk?" I didn't answer. Marcus noticed. "You ever going to call her back?" I shook my head. "No, I don't need anything from her." He smiled. "That's growth, man." Jenna and I started having lunch together. She'd tell me about her family, her dreams, her favorite movies. I listened, grateful for something new. One day, she asked, "You ever think about starting over?" I nodded. "Every day." She smiled. "You're already doing it." I realized she was right. I was building a new life, one that didn't revolve around Olivia or her lies. I started drawing again, filling my sketchbook with color and hope. My boss noticed. "You're back, Alex. I missed this side of you." I grinned. "Me too." At night, I'd sit on my balcony, watching the city lights. I felt proud of how far I'd come. I didn't need Olivia's validation to be happy. I just needed to believe in myself again. Olivia called one evening. I almost didn't answer, but something in me wanted closure. She sounded tired. "Alex, can we meet? Please." I hesitated. "Where?" She suggested a cafe near her office. I agreed, more curious than hopeful. When I walked in, she was already there, staring at her coffee. She looked up, eyes red. "Thank you for coming." I sat down. What do you want, Olivia? She took a shaky breath. I'm sorry for everything, for lying, for hurting you, for all of it. I nodded. I know. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. I regret it all, Alex. I wish I could take it back. I looked at her, feeling nothing but emptiness. You can't. She wiped her eyes. I lost everything. Daniel's gone. My reputation at work is ruined. I miss you. I stayed, quiet, letting her talk. She whispered, Can we try again? Please. I'll do anything. I shook my head. I've moved on, Olivia. I can't go back. She started to cry, her voice breaking. I don't know how to fix this. I stood up. You can't. Some things can't be fixed. She looked at me desperate. You really don't love me anymore? I met her eyes. No, I don't. The cafe staff glanced over, but I didn't care. I just wanted to leave. She whispered. I'm sorry. I nodded. I hope you find peace. I walked out, the bell above the door ringing behind me. The air felt lighter, like I'd finally let go of something I'd been carrying for too long. Outside, I pulled out my phone and texted Marcus. Thank you. You for never giving up on me, he replied almost instantly. Always, man. Proud of you. I smiled, feeling a strange sense of relief. I knew I'd never go back. I sat by my window, watching the city lights flicker in the distance. My phone buzzed, but I let it ring. I didn't need to answer anymore. I wasn't waiting for anyone's apology. Marcus called. You good? I smiled. Yeah, I'm good. He laughed. You sound different. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. I feel different. Lighter. He was quiet for a second. You did it, man. You made it through. I let out a breath. I survived. I'm not angry anymore. I don't care about the past, he said. That's all anyone can hope for. I looked out at the city, thinking about Olivia. I saw her regret, but it wasn't my burden to carry. I didn't need her to fix anything. I didn't need her to say sorry again. Sometimes I wondered if she ever really loved me or if she just loved the idea of me, but it didn't matter now. I was free. I texted Jenna just to say hi. She replied, Hope you're having a good night. I smiled, grateful for new beginnings. My mom called asking if I was coming for dinner. I said yes. I wanted to see her, to show her I was okay. I stood up, stretched, and looked at my reflection. I wasn't the same person who walked into that hospital room, full of hope and trust. I was stronger now, even with the scars. I whispered to myself, I'm okay with who I am. I grabbed my jacket, ready to step out into the night. I didn't need anyone's permission to be happy. I didn't need to prove anything to anyone. I looked out at the city one last time, feeling peace settle in my chest. Sometimes, the hardest truth is learning to let go of the people who broke you.